Hello and welcome to another episode of AWS Cloud Bytes AWS Certification Series. I'm your host Bhavesh Kumar. Friends, if you like these videos, please like, subscribe, share and click the notification bell icon for future updates. Today we are going to talk about some professional level questions. There may be a mix of easy questions, but it is primarily focused on architect and DevOps professional. Let's look at the first question. You're an AWS solutions architect in an IT company. Your company has a big data product that analyzes data from various sources like transactions. So you have sources like transactions, web server, service, and social media. You need to design a new solution in AWS that extracts data from the source in S3 and transforms. So you got two keywords here. One is extract and then the other one is transform the data to match the target schema. So you have a target schema automatically. The transferred data can be analyzed using SQL, standard SQL. Which combination of the below given would meet these requirements? So you have a requirement to get two selections here and you have 5 options. We can start looking from the first one. We know we need to extract data, we need to transform data in a given schema. So primarily it's a ETL job, which is extract, transform, and load. Set up an AWS ECS cluster to manage the extract, transform, and load service to prepare and load the data in S3 for analytics. This is not correct option because although ECS cluster may work, it may not be fully managed by AWS. You are going to manage this, not the best solution. Let's look at other solutions. Configure an AWS EMR cluster to transform the data to a target format for downstream. Execute the EMR task on a schedule. And this is again incorrect for the same reason that this is not going to be managed. When you see a ETL job, think about Glue because Glue is considered as first choice and it is one of the services that is provided by AWS specifically for extract, transform and load jobs or ETL jobs. Let's look at another option C here. Create an AWS ETL to run on schedule to scan the data in S3 and populate Glue data catalog accordingly. Now this looks like something we can think about as an option. So let's keep it as an option here. This is because Glue generates Scala or PySpark scripts with AWS Glue extensions. You can use and modify these scripts to perform various ETL operations. You can extract, clean, and transform raw data and then store the results in a different repository altogether where it can be queried and analyzed. Let's look at another option here, option D. Configure AWS QuickSight to analyze the data using standard SQL commands. Oh, there is a data issue. So forget about this one. I should have cleaned it up, but this is what you have. So option D is not a correct option because QuickSight is a service to deliver insights rather than perform SQL queries. Look at the option 5, which is use AWS Athena to query the data using standard SQL. Looks correct because AWS Athena can directly query the data in AWS Glue data catalog for SQL command without any additional step required. Option D wasn't good. Option C and option E looks like a feasible option in this particular scenario. Let's look at another question. A fintech startup company is developing a product on the AWS platform. To speed up the development, the company plans to use a SaaS provided by AWS Marketplace. The SaaS provider already configured an AWS private link. In the company's VPC, which configuration is required to utilize this private connection so that the traffic flows to the service provider over private AWS networking rather than over the internet? So the requirement here is to find the correct option which will enable a private data transfer using AWS backbone network rather than going through a public internet. Let's spend some time, think about it. You can add your answers in the comment. Let's go through the options. There are 4 options and we have to choose one of them. In the VPC, configure an interface VPC endpoint for the SaaS, which creates an elastic network interface or ENI in the subnet with a private IP address. So what exactly this is doing is it's creating an interface VPC endpoint. So this option as such is correct here. Let's look at other options. just to identify why these are not correct. Configure a site-to-site VPN connection in customer VPC for the SaaS to use the AWS private link connection. This is site-to-site VPN connection. Now, site-to-site VPN connection is used for VPN connection between the AWS and on-prem data centers. And that is not the case here. This is a marketplace service that we want to connect. Let's look at next option. So let me strike this through. In the VPC, set up a gateway VPC endpoint for the SaaS, which creates an elastic network interface in the subnet with an IP address of elastic type. So it's basically creating an elastic IP address, and we know elastic IP addresses are public. This is basically creating a gateway VPC endpoint. It should be interface VPC endpoint rather than a gateway VPC endpoint. Secondly, the IP address in the elastic network interface, or the ENI, should be private instead of elastic. So this is not an option. In the VPC, create an AWS Direct Connect connection for the SaaS to securely connect with the AWS private link. If you know the AWS Direct Connect, it is a private connection between an on-prem server and the VPC. Basically, in the Direct Connect, you have your own connection with a Direct Connect location, and that Direct Connect location has a connectivity to AWS. But we are going to a marketplace service, and this is not the requirement here. So A is the answer here, because interface VPC endpoint is essential to establish a secure connection for a private link. This is the end of the episode. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, and press the notification bell icon for future updates. This is your host, Bhavesh Kumar, signing off. Thank you.